Let's make a small loaf of sourdough bread. Yum! First, I'm going to start with 75 grams of my active starter. It's 11:30 this morning. I took it out of the fridge at like 6:30 and I fed it at 10 and it was ready by 11:30. Next, you're gonna add in 150 grams of water. I just used water from my tap, and then we are going to whisk it together. Then you're gonna wanna measure out 6 grams of salt. I am using all natural sea salt fine. Usually I use kosher salt, but this is what we have in the house. After you've added the salt, you're going to add in 250 grams of all-purpose flour and then mix that together with a spatula until it becomes a shaggy dough. It should go from this to this. You can use your hands, but I just used the spatula for the whole thing. Now I'm going to cover it and let it sit for 1 hour just by itself. Alrighty, it's been sitting for an hour, so I wet my hand down and we're going to do our first stretch and fold, which means you just grab it like this, pull it up high, fold it over. You do it on all 4 sides, and then you're going to cover it back up with this Saran wrap. Let it sit for another 30 minutes and do another stretch and fold after that. Okie dokie, this is our last stretch and fold. It's getting nice and smooth. I'm very excited for this. So after I do this last stretch and fold, we are going to put it in a nice warm spot. Let it rise until it's risen about 75%. You don't want it risen like 100%, but I'll show you how high it's supposed to be. I'm super excited. This is like really messy, but yeah, look at it go though. I'm making sourdough, baby. Woo woo. Okie dokie, I let my dough go in the fridge because I had to, and so I took it out, let it come to room temperature for like 3 hours, and then what I do to make it like a nice round ball is I will push it with this hand and then pull it back towards me and just keep rotating, push it forward, pull it back. You want to do it, you don't want to do it too much, or else you'll have this huge tear, but I think that's perfect, and you can see some bubbles in there as well. And then I went ahead and cut a line all the way around and then an X right here. I'm just going to let it sit on the counter while my Dutch oven heats up with the lid on at 450 for about 10-15 minutes. I transferred my dough to a little thing of parchment. My cast iron has been heated up in the oven, and the oven is at 450. So I'm going to throw the lid on, stick it in the oven for about 25 minutes, take the lid off, and bake for another 10 to 15 minutes or so. It's working, baby! That's been in the oven. Whoops. That's been in the oven for about 20 minutes. Now I took the lid off and I'm going to bake for another 10 to 15 minutes. Alrighty, I baked it for the 25 or 30 minutes with the lid covered, and then took the lid off and baked it for another 10 minutes. I was going to do a 15 minutes total, but when I looked at it at the 10-minute mark, this was perfect, and look at that. And it's a little bit darker on the bottom, but that's okay. I'm very happy with it. I took it out of the pan immediately with the parchment paper, and now I'm just letting it cool. It's pretty cool. Well, it's still a little bit warm, but I'm going to cut into it because I'm starving. I'm going to say something because everyone has a different opinion. Some people say that you should let it rest overnight and cut it when it's completely cooled. But have you ever had fresh bread with butter that is warm and soft and delicious? It's way better than waiting until the next day. I don't care what you say. You do you. If you want to wait the 12 hours, I don't want to wait the 12 hours. I just cut into that, and look at that. Look how beautiful that is. So I'm going to stick some butter on this, and I'm going to get it off my little rant because I think I'm just a little hungry. So I hope you guys enjoy, and you can double this recipe for everything, and it will make a large loaf. I just wanted a small loaf because we just aren't going through it as much. But you guys have fun, and I hope you guys enjoy, and yeah, have a wonderful night.